Yeah, the weather was 40 degrees colder in Fort Worth.
Wow.
I was not prepared for that.
We were not prepared for that.
Hello. Raymond's gonna pick up slack for me.
Raymond will be DMing
That's
tonight.
right. That's right. That was a pretty good hello.
First. He legally gets to DM now.
That's how it works. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition online role-playing adventures. We live stream our sessions Friday evenings. You can keep up with our adventures on YouTube, as well as catch weekly recaps on RogueWatson.com. I'm Chris, your Dungeon Master, and I'm joined by our awesome players. Eric playing Kazan, the half-elf Warlock Paladin. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
Heather playing Brysis, the Tiefling Sorcerer. Hello, Heather.
Hello.
Reese playing Tim, the Warforged Cleric Fighter. Hello, Reese.
Hello.
Rochelle playing Corinne, the Blue Dragonborn Sorcerer. Hello, Rochelle.
Hello.
And Raymond playing Halfred, the Halfling Ranger. Hola, Raymond.
I already said hello.
You did.
You did.
We use Roll20.net for our tabletop campaign and video chat. And I'm recording it all using Open Broadcaster software. I wonder if I change it right now, if I copy next week. if that change will save. Let's find out. Previously on Storm King's Thunder, the party approached the Hill Giant army from behind. They counted 5 Hill Giants, just as many ogres carrying miniature catapults strapped to their backs, and more bugbears and goblins than they could easily count. They bided their time, still having the element of surprise, preparing themselves for battle, and as the army began to advance on the walls of Goldenfield, they struck. Closing in on horseback, Tim hopped off into the middle of a group and slammed his blasting hammer into the ground. The explosion instantly killed a hill giant, an ogre, a bugbear, and several goblins. Kazan followed suit using his psychic fear on the northernmost grouping. To the south, Halford covered half the field in a fog cloud spell, rendering much of the army inert for a long while a magical darkness from Brysis obscured it even further, and Corinne threw a wall of fire into the enshrouded army. One of the hill giants responded by almost crushing Tim to death, who saved himself with a series of desperate parries. From the wall, the townsfolk rained down what arrows they could, though the battlefield had erupted into chaos almost immediately. As Nasher, the leader of the army, emerged from the fog cloud, Brysis animated one of the dead hill giants to meet him. At this point, Denela, the giant slayer the party had contracted but who hadn't done much in the battle thus far, finally stepped up. With her sling, she stunned Nasher, then ran up and tripped him using her hooked halberd. A few fireballs, lightning bolts, and arrows later, and Nasher was visibly damaged. He nearly killed Denela with a large swing of his great club, but when he tried to smash Tim, he missed. Tim responded with a riposte, finishing off the hill giant with a powerful counterattack. With Nasher dead, the southern army began to break apart. Corinne had used the Horn of Blasting to blast them and the fog cloud backwards. As they approached, they noticed their dead leader and began retreating. Everyone took pot shots at the routed army while Kazan healed up Denela. The party heard cheering to the east and looked to see the townsfolk of Goldenfields roaring their congratulations. The hill giant army had been routed, and not a single allied life had been lost. And everybody gets a point of inspiration. I couldn't decide... Everybody! I couldn't decide who should get it, so I decided to give it to everybody.
Nice. I wasn't even here for 2/3 of the session.
Well...
What does that tell you?
And I will take you back to the field.
No, I don't want to go back. Don't make me go.
So many bodies to loot.
So many bodies.
I would like to make the hill giant start dancing for the people that are on the wall.
Okay.
Just gonna perforate him.
Yeah, exactly. You have the hill giant do a little jig Which, because you can't really animate him like a human,
puppet.
like a puppet. Instead, it's just an object, and instead looks like a big jiggling body just swaying back and forth. And you see a number of the archers on the walls still plinking arrows into this hill giant with confused looks on their faces.
I would like to command him to jiggle more.
He jiggles more.
Never stop jiggling.
Yeah, the crowd on the wall is still cheering at the success, and you guys there's no enemies left in the field. There's just a bunch of dead bodies that you can indeed begin to loot. Let's see here.
Just itemize that shit.
Yeah. I'm looking at what. So you go through the combined goblins and bugbears. You go through their pockets and you find mostly just garbage, just all their dented iron weapons and, little bits of meat and food and stuff. But you do take money from a number of them. A number of them had actual money pouches for a grand total after you're done. And this is taking a while. The crowd on the wall sort of breaks up by the time you guys are finished with this whole looting the battlefield scenario. For a grand total of 85 gold and 340 silver pieces.
Why do I feel like we just got gypped?
We were to divide that.
Yeah, that's the total that you found on the bodies.
And our group accountant.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You.
The ogres seem to be carrying nothing except for the catapult systems on their backs. You think they might be useful? I mean, they do seem like functioning siege weapons, but they're also not going to be transportable by anybody who's not an ogre or is as strong as an ogre.
I have gauntlets of ogre strength. I am literally as strong as an ogre.
Yeah.
What are you? I missed that. I was calculating money. What's very heavy? That can't be.
These ogres, the ogres that were in the army, had these trebuchet type devices strapped to their backs that they were using to hurl goblins.
Oh.
And that is all that these creatures are carrying on them. And Kazan, with your ogre strength, you could probably drag one of these devices around, but you're not going to be able to wear it. Or
I'll give it to the townsfolk and see if they want to repurpose these in some fashion.
After a little while, Othovir, the leader of the hunters of Golden Fields, comes down off the wall. And he does. He says they can't launch much, and they probably can't launch as long as a normal catapult, but we could use them. We could put them on the walls. And he directs some of his men to begin disassembling the devices. The giants, you begin going through there's 3 that you killed. Yes, 3 that you killed. You begin going through their stuff, and you almost immediately regret it. They seem to have they're very unhygienic, and they just have gross bags full of just unkempt food and stuff that smells terrible. And they seem pretty gross in general. On the northernmost giant, you find a half-empty battered barrel of thin vinegary red wine. It appears that it's taken some damage from Tim's hammer, and the cask is leaking, and the bottom of the sack is damp.
No.
Corinne immediately starts drinking from the leaking bag.
Oh, gross! From the bag.
One of my character traits that I chose early on was that it says I prefer the drink, or I really like the drink. I don't know, but then I never really pursued that. So this is my chance to just kind of
squeeze that wine out of that old giant bag.
Giant's lips was not.
On Nasher himself, he has a shirt that is made out of wooden shields. It seems pretty much useless to any normal-sized person. There's about 20...
Would you describe that as a shield? Or a shirt?
It's a shirt made of shields.
A shirt made of shields?
Well, I mean, I guess it would be... I guess it's armor, I suppose.
Armor is what I was thinking, yeah.
Is that where you were going? Okay, let's say armor.
Yeah.
The armor is literally... All it is, though, is it's wooden shields that have been stitched into a cloth shirt. And there are 20 wooden shields on this shirt. But they all just seem to be regular wooden shields. There doesn't seem to be anything special about them.
What about my jiggling giant?
Giant loot is the dumbest shit, I swear.
He also is, around one of his wrists, he is wearing a 5-foot length of chain, heavy chain. And his club is a little bit nicer looking than the other giants. Doesn't seem to be magical or anything, but it looks like he has carved his wooden club to resemble a giant fist at the top. It's also still a giant club, though, so none of you can actually wield it. It's...
I want to see Halford try to pick it up.
The clenched fist at the head of the club is as big as Halfred.
Sounds like a challenge.
It rolls over onto you, Halfred.
Help!
You
Help!
got trapped into this club.
My leg. It's got me. My leg.
That's how we lost Alfred.
And the third giant, the one that is jiggling, you go through his sack. He has a tremendously varied mix of ripped and torn clothing filling his sack. Some of it looks fairly new, some of it looks very old, but it just looks like he picked up every piece of clothing he's ever found in homesteads. It's all normal-sized clothing. And he also...
I feel bad. We killed a home ec student.
And within that is a smaller sack also containing a roasted haunch of some unidentified meat. And that is what those giants are carrying.
Fantastic.
All of it seems pretty wordless to you.
Yep.
At this point, I'm going to let my giant go and have him just fall over.
The clothing just goes splattering all over the ground. And the
Bryces was secretly hoping he'd land on one of the townspeople.
Oathapir has been keeping his distance.
Alright, we've been riding all night and then fighting, so I presume...
I want to nap.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm just exhausted.
Yeah. As you all are going into the walls, Danela comes up to you. And she says, just, what was this? I've never seen giants act this way before.
Shh. Nap.
I'll sigh and give her the most succinct summary of our entire campaign that I can muster. But essentially, blah blah blah, ordning, blah blah blah, evil ancient blue dragon, blah blah blah, giants, organized uprising all around the place. This ain't the first city
Rodeo?
being attacked under siege. And unfortunately, the giants seem to be kind of stupid about their motives. They're just kind of in chaos right now.
She nods a bit. She says, well, I suppose it's one last good thing I can do with my damn life. And she takes out the weapons she was wielding, the halberd, her sling, and just drops them on the ground in front of her. She unhooks her belt and lets that fall too. And
Hey, we don't want to see you get naked.
And the belt has, you can see that belt has a number of potions embedded in the belt. And she turns and begins walking away. And she says, I'm taking one of these horses.
Wait, what are you doing? You don't walk away from this.
She says,
You're a hero to these people.
She says, I'm done fighting. It was never really me doing the work anyway. It was that stuff. You all can put it to better use than I can.
You did good work here. These people could use you. You're a local hero.
She says, I got no interest in people. I'm taking those books you gave me and I'm selling out. I'm sailing south.
COWARD.
She flips you the bird as she's walking towards one of the horses and hops on the nearest horse and just like kicks it and begins immediately riding away.
I
I'm out of
really
spell-
want to
I'm
hit
out of
her
spell
right in the
slots.
butt with a fireball. I
Do you?
really want to hit her in the butt with a fireball.
No, I'm gonna wave you down. Like, let her go. That's...
Can I hit her with a magic missile then?
Oh, just let her go.
Wait, whose horse is she taking?
Yours.
It looks
We
like
don't need
Corinne's.
the.
I'm on mine.
It looks like. Do we need the horses?
I mean, not really. The horses were lent to you anyway. They belong to the city.
I would like you to hit her in the butt.
I'm gonna throw a magic missile at her.
Oh Lord!
Go ahead.
I healed you, lady.
Just do first level, cause. Oops.
Damn, that's a pretty good magic missile.
You pound those magic missiles into her back.
God.
And you see her slump forward, and she looks at you, looks back. You see her look back kind of nervously, and
And I'm gonna do this.
she just like kicks into the horse and just almost like fear in her eyes now, and she books it out of there.
Kazan says, "Note to self: kill the tiefling before we disperse this
She'll
campaign.
kill us all.
She'll kill us all."
Can I use thaumaturgy to just start screaming COWARD at her back as she runs away?
You can.
I'd
Yes.
also like to make the ground shake so that way it freaks the horse out.
Okay. Yes, you
What
do
did she
all
drop?
that. She dropped her hooked halberd that she had been using in the fight. She dropped the sling that she had been using in the fight. And she dropped a belt that looks like a normal belt, but it's got 2 potions slotted
But
into
it's a
it.
super belt.
It has
Do
2.
we know what those potions look familiar?
They do not. You could try to identify them by just taking a look and taking a smell and seeing if you can figure it out.
Okay.
Roll an Arcana check, Bryce's.
I know all things
Damn.
related.
Wow. All right.
What vintage is this? potion?
Yes. Let me see. Let me find it. These potions. There's 2 of them. They seem like they're very old. They were crafted long ago. It seems like probably years and years ago. But you immediately clearly identify them to be taking a little smell and a little taste with your pinky. These are underfoot potions. For 1 hour after drinking it, you have a +2 bonus to AC against attacks made by a creature at least 1 size category larger than you. And any attack made against you by a creature at least 1 size category smaller than you has a +2 bonus on the attack roll.
Hey, Halford, you want to drink a potion?
There are 2 of these.
That's good for you.
That's true.
Good for anybody that fights a giant, I think, right?
I'm gonna shove those in my bag.
Any attack made against you by a creature that's once smaller than you.
I'll
So
keep the belt.
creatures that are smaller than you.
They
Have
get
a-
+2
Yes.
on their attack.
Okay, so you only want to drink it when you're fighting something larger than you.
Right.
Yep.
This is why she picked me.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah. Does the halberd require attunement?
one. Let me check.
Because if you'll let me, I can go whoosha, whoosha, whoosha with. Because I don't need the phantom pike if I'm only fighting one thing, essentially. But if it requires attunement, I'm not going to sit there and detune and retune, try to figure out what we're facing.
It does not. You can tell that both the halberd and the sling are magical, but neither one seems to require attunement.
All right, well, being the polearm master, I will take the halberd, and somebody can take the sling.
I guess.
All right. Yeah, and
I
she.
don't want the sling.
Okay. Anybody want a
He
sling?
said, "I want it." I hand it to you, and you're like, "I don't want it."
want
Here's the
I realized what I said could be misconstrued of me wanting it.
Mm.
He's saying, "I wanted that. I don't want to have you." It's so confusion.
What's up for grabs? A sling?
A sling,
Mhm.
yes. A magical sling.
That was the
Spinny.
that was the one that she used to stun the giant.
Ooh.
It's the one that she used to miss like 3 of her attacks with.
Yeah.
It's like a David sling.
Right, yeah. Okay, and with that, it's still morning now. You guys have ridden
Does
through...
that halberd have a thing you can pop up to?
You have to actually attune to it. I mean, you guys are about to take a long rest.
Oh, it does require attunement.
No, not attune. Like identify.
Oh, okay.
You're about to have a long rest.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
Damn, Skippy.
yeah. With that, Janela is gone. It is still early morning right now, but you all are very tired, having ridden straight through the night and through a whole day. And Oath of Ear takes you into the city where you can rest in one of the homes of the citizens who are happy to give you rooms.
Damn right.
You are down. We're now down here. All right, and as you guys, despite it being early morning, you can long rest right now and probably sleep through the day and through the night. Catch up on the sleep that you didn't get over the last 36 hours.
On y'all's character sheets, do you use the red to fill in when you have the spell slots or when you're marking them off?
When I'm marking them off.
So when you're long rested, everything's white?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I'm going to re-roll for my magic pseudo-plate mail.
Oh, yes.
Do you think piercing is the best to have a vulnerability to?
Yep. Until we inevitably fight a giant snake or something, it's going to pierce the fuck out of you.
So I have resistance to piercing.
Yes, resistance to piercing.
Immunity to blood or slashing. This is just
The
like
same.
before.
This is the exact same rolls.
Yep.
All right, well, tomorrow night, maybe.
How did I get a point of exhaustion again?
You guys rode through a full day and a full night to get to Denela and get back.
Okay.
Which I think we just cured that, right, with the long rest?
You did. It's cured
Yeah.
now. Now that you have long rested. I think it was you and Kazan? Who else? You and Halfred.
Halfred.
Yeah. It was a Constitution saving throw as you were staying awake. All right. As you guys are bedding down for the evening or the afternoon, I suppose. Kazan, you look at this very wicked-looking halberd. It is made of some sort of black
It is
metal.
extra naughty.
Extra naughty. And you identify it
I give it a playful slap.
as Ankle Biter.
Ooh.
You gain a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with Ankle Biter.
Oh, shit.
You gain an additional +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with Ankle Biter against giants.
Oh, shit.
When you hit a giant with this weapon, if it is standing, you may aim for the back of the giant's legs, and it must succeed on a DC 13 dexterity saving throw or fall prone. After failing the saving throw twice, once on each leg, the giant cannot suffer the effect again, and now must make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw to stand up from prone, and repeat the saving throw every time it attempts to walk, falling prone if it fails. It's effectively a hamstring effect you're doing.
Yeah. Sounds fantastic.
So you have a +1 in general and a +3 when you're going against giants with it.
So I have to enter in a lot of different entries.
Yeah, you might want to enter the actual saving throw as its own ability, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how best to enter all that.
just give it to somebody else.
I don't feel like doing this. The sling.
I don't think anyone took it.
Somebody took
Oh,
it.
I'll pick
I'll
it up.
take the sling.
Somebody take the sling.
If no one's gonna pick it up, I'll pick it up.
That's fine.
All right, Rochelle can have it. That's fine. I took the potion belt. I was like, I'm good.
All right, I'll take the sling.
The sling, after studying it a bit, where is... I lost it.
Aw.
Hold on. I just didn't put it in alphabetical order in the magic items thing.
Under the giant's butt that I was animating.
Just another sign and nobody wants it.
The DM didn't even want it.
I've genuinely lost the entry I made into the magic items.
Genuinely.
Hold on. Let me see if I can find it somewhere.
Albert's at 1d10. This is 1d10 slash. This is the fun part of the stream where we're just all
Entering things into... Well, let me pull up Daniela's character sheet and I'll be able to tell you what it does. And I'll have to re-put that entry in at some point. It had a picture and everything.
He lost it.
I lost it. Oh, I'm just scrolling through.
Oh, I can enter a saving throw with weapons.
Oh, there it is. It wasn't called what I thought it was called. You identify the sling as Skullcracker. The sling has a few properties. If you have not moved or performed any other actions on your turn, you may make a single attack with Skullcracker with advantage. Skullcracker deals an extra 1d4 bludgeoning damage per size category the target is larger than yourself. And if an attack hits a creature at least one size category larger than you, the target must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or be stunned until the beginning of its next turn.
Okay.
It's also a lot of stuff to put in.
Yep, gotta figure that out.
And the 1d4 thing, Daniela had a character sheet, and I could never figure out how to make that appear correct. Like, how many 1d4 extra do you want to roll? So I was just adding that after the fact. I couldn't figure out how to put that in an actual entry.
Is this considered a ranged weapon attack?
It is. It is a ranged weapon attack. It's a
Okay.
sling, which I believe a sling is a
Yeah.
1d4. I forget what the range is, but...
Okay.
All right. You all long rest and get everything back. When you awake in the morning, you come out of your rooms and you find Maxine is waiting for you in the dining room of this home that you have been staying in. And she says, the people of Golden Fields owe you all a great deal.
Yes, they do.
We lost not a single life in this giant attack, and I don't foresee them coming back. Now, I wish
Really?
to.
All right.
He says, it appeared that leader was the one organizing them and bringing them from home to home. I can't imagine a normal hill giant doing that sort of organization. Now, where they came from, I don't know, or what they're doing. I don't know that either. You all probably have a better idea than I do. However, you stepped up when the Lord's Alliance failed these people. I must say I have some shame to that regard. I had thought the Lord's Alliance would step in and help us.
I mean, everywhere's pretty busy right now, I'm sure.
She says, indeed. Well, still, I would like to offer you what little I can as a Lord's Alliance emissary. And she pulls out a small scroll from her pack, her belt, and passes it over the table to you. And as you look at it, you see it's the first half of it seems to be a description of the battle yesterday, of the giants approaching the walls of U5 or 6 with Denala, flanking the enemy and saving all the townsfolk without a single person dying. It's all pretty well laid out in the letter. And then at the bottom, there is Naxine Drathkala is her name. Her name, and it says Emissary of the Lord's Alliance, and the bottom it says Lord's Alliance Certificate of Services Rendered. And she says, should you ever find yourself in need of a favor of one of the towns in the Lord's Alliance, any of the biggest ones along the Sword Coast or members, present this to any of the local governments, and it'll get you any favor you can think of, within reason, of course. She says, now what constitutes in reason will depend on who you're talking to, but any member of the Lord's Alliance should take that and be able to provide you with a favor in turn. And
Put a bounty on Denala's head.
that's what you want to do with it? Put a bounty on the...
Just
We need to find the Weevil guy. That actually escaped us.
Yes.
killed someone too.
The last thing you heard about him was from Miri telling you that Crowan of the Harpers had been looking into that and might have some more information for you.
Yeah, we were supposed to go talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like 3 missions ago, you were supposed to go talk to him.
Yeah.
Eh.
You guys have been busy. She says, Golden Fields will forever tell stories of you all. And I know I am personally in your debt. Thank you very much. And safe travels. She bows and leaves.
It's like she doesn't know how to end the conversation.
No, she doesn't know. And yeah,
slam the door.
yeah. There you go. That's how you guys got. You guys got that quick. Get your stuff put in. All right, so that is. Oh yeah. Wow,
My-
you had to put.
For my other weapon, I have 4 entries because I can also use my channeled psychic weapon, but now I'm realizing I would have to literally double all these entries to put all that in, so
Oh yeah.
I might just say, if I do that ability, which I don't do very often because it takes an action, it'll be like just +3 to this number.
Yeah. Now
That's a lot of entries.
I don't totally know if I put mine in correctly.
It looks
I
right.
just
it's a +1.
Okay. Well, I just typed in, Skullcracker and put in range weapon attack and then just copy and pasted the content.
Okay.
So it says Dex or DC 15 con saving throw, and that's only in certain circumstances.
Right. But that's fine if it's just
But
there
yeah,
without. Yeah,
hopefully the actual like attack value is correct.
I think so. Let's see. DC roll.
What's your dex?
My dex modifier
Yes.
+3.
A sling should be 1d4 plus 3, I think, then.
Oh yeah, your damage is just your dex modifier right now. That's
And the range is 30, 120. Yeah, the base of the sling is 1d4, and then it's plus your dex.
Okay. I will have Reese help me figure that out later.
okay.
In a while, said entering weapons.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. 1d4 plus dex for
Yeah.
a hit. Okay, I think it will be right now.
Nope, still just rolling your dex for some reason. That's weird.
We'll fix it later.
Yeah, okay. All right, so you all are done in Goldenfield for the most part.
Bye, Golden Fields. Goodbye. I'm glad you're safe now. And we finally fought a hill giant.
As we're walking off, I'm gonna lean closer to Tim and go, "Should I set the fields on fire?"
Why haven't you done it already?
I don't take moral guidance from Tim.
Kazan keeps looking at me like he expects me to do it.
No, that's not what that look is.
He looks at everyone like that.
It's really mistaken, that look.
Go distract him.
Okay. Hey, Kazan. How about a nice juicy leech?
Hey, put your clothes back on. What are you doing? This is highly inappropriate.
Is
Oh.
it?
I'll launch a single firebolt at a hay bale.
All right, as you all ride away, you rises you in the distance. See a tiny little plume of smoke begin to emerge from the hay bale, but you're over the crest before you see what the outcome of that is.
Can't blame me, I wasn't here.
Good thing all the fields outside of the castle will be safe thanks to that wall.
Yeah. They still got fields, they'll be fine. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. You all. I'll take you back to the.
Alfred says, "Man, this is one of the worst droughts we've ever seen."
The fire alert level is red today.
Bryce will sneeze and pull another firebolt. Achoo! Psh!
Golden Fields do lend you one of the horses is to replace the one that Denela took, but they did lend you horses to get back to Waterdeep. They give you the name of a stable in Waterdeep.
We're not gonna return.
Well, they give you the name of a stable in Waterdeep that you can drop them off and they can get them later.
Acceptable.
Assuming you will do that.
We'll find out.
And some of the people of the area, including the same farmers and kids that you escorted into Golden Fields, ask if they can walk with you for a while as you leave, just as a sort of, they're going back to their homes to rebuild and start again.
Sure.
All right, you head out from Golden Fields with a small entourage of farmers and peasant folk.
Random question. Can I tell if any of the kids have like innate magical ability that I could try to teach one of them how to throw a fireball?
Roll an insight check.
Oh, I'm not good at that one. How about intimidation?
I'll bully you into knowing your magic powers.
Someone drew a fire in Golden Fields.
It's all burning.
I saved it just to do that.
You try to ascertain by like talking to the kids a little bit, staring at them uncomfortably for a little while, if any of them have any innate magical abilities, and you're not able to ascertain anything.
Aw.
And the kids are
I'm still gonna try to teach them how to throw a fireball.
okay.
Tell them if they just keep practicing, they'll get it one day.
And the parents immediately, once they understand what you're trying to do, immediately pull their children away and give you side eyes.
Keep practicing.
She told me to burn things.
The devil lady told me to burn it all.
Oh god, the fire's growing.
Oh no, the hills. Hills are alive.
All of Janela's
Cry.
books have gone up in flames. Her nest egg is gone.
Hey, she's still nursing a little fire burn she's got there.
Yeah. By the time the end of the first day comes around, the farmers have mostly dispersed. They've come close enough to their farms where they've left the main road. And you all camp that night without any trouble. It is another long rest, Tim. Would you like to attempt to roll your...
Something different than before, like I tried to before? No. Good.
You can do it!
Okay, I'm resistant to slashing now.
Okay.
I have immunity to bludgeoning.
Nice.
And
I have
vulnerability.
vulnerability to piercing, so pretty much what I want.
Okay.
Oh god, the fire was still growing.
Let's get the hell out of here.
I'm going to edit the actual sheet so I can keep track of that. You have resistance to slashing.
Yeah. You come across 50 archers.
Good luck.
That's right. That's right.
And
You come
vulnerability.
across a giant with a club that has nails on
That's
it.
right. From here on out of the
Nails.
campaign, all the giant clubs have nails in them.
Yeah.
All right. You wake up the next morning, Tim, and the shape of the armor has changed. It's no longer the ridged, sort of hard-edged scales that it was. Now it's this smooth, almost glistening mirror-like plate that seems like a bludgeoning attack might just slide off of it. And you all head back for the hills are on fire. And the next day goes by uneventfully, and you arrive in Waterdeep.
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 How deep is that
I was
water?
still drawing.
6 inches.
All the way around.
To the teleporter thing.
Right, yes.
That's what we have shopping to do.
Yeah, so shopping you guys want to do in Waterdeep?
Corinne, now is the time to sell your jewels.
Well, right, except Waterdeep is probably a place we're going to come back to, right?
There's a good chance. I mean, all the major cities are sort of major
Yeah,
hubs.
see, that's kind of the problem with that plan is people are not going to be very happy that the
your-
jewel does not last for very long. It only lasts for like 10 minutes or
your
something
your,
like
your
that.
creation scam? Yeah. That's...
Yeah.
I
So-
do have a disguise kit, so we could like make you look like a painted person, and like the super rougey cheeks and the drawn on itty bitty lips with the little bird.
She is
we
still a
disguise
dragon.
me- I mean, but I wouldn't look like me. I would just look like another dragon. We disguise me, and then I sell my fake jewels.
And you'll go by the name of something else, not Corinne.
Just walks in with a mustache.
She's got like a mustache drawn on and like big circles around her eyes with like glass rims drawn on the side of her face.
Yep.
Hello.
Perfect.
All right, let's do it. Disguise me, Bryces, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go by the name of Puff,
Puff.
the magic dragon.
Great.
Makeup montage.
Yeah, there's a
And
makeup.
while,
So
while while Braces is doing my makeup, I'm gonna cast Creation. And I don't want this to be like unrealistic, right? Because I can cast something that's no larger than a 5-foot cube, but that's like super big. So I'm gonna cast just like I don't know, like an 8-inch around diamond.
okay.
We've now changed
Oh,
Corinne from a
clicked the wrong
blue
thing.
dragonborn.
Chris, like, go away.
Corinne is now a
Yeah, what have you
white
done?
dragonborn.
Oh, white
We've now turned her white.
Okay.
You've gone from blue to white. It's kind. Let's be honest. The blue comes through really strong, so she's kind of got this like grayish blue tinge going.
Okay.
But again, super enough. Like we gave her the super puffy eyebrows, the grayish blue tinged scales now. Just don't run into a rain shower. You'll be fine. And then like a giant beauty mark right on the side.
Okay.
How
are you with accents?
How am I with accents, you say?
There we go. That works.
All right, so I'm
Do we
gonna.
need a getaway car or something? Like, what's going down? You need baby driver?
Okay, so I'm gonna go find a jeweler somewhere, or like, oh wait, or is there just like someone? Can I tell if there's just like someone very wealthy, like a wealthy businessman who just needs to have like the biggest and best of everything? That's my target.
No, you want the wealthy businessman who can tell is in the down and outs with his wife.
We just turned this into
Yeah.
like a heist.
She's gonna become like a con artist. Like she's gonna go
Yeah.
con a wealthy old man out of his money.
She's been
The
hanging out with him
influence
too long.
I've been around her, yeah. Too long.
I'm gonna help her pick her target. Like I'm that voice behind her.
Okay,
that-
we don't have a lot of time though, right? So
You got
can
10
I just
minutes,
like roll?
yeah.
Can I roll like a perception check to see like will that help me figure out who's the best target?
Yeah, you asked around a little bit, and you understand that going to the North Ward area is where you would go, where you'd want to go if you're looking for like the rich people with disposable income.
Can she get advantage on her perception check? Because I'm trying to help her find the right person.
That would be so. Roll a perception check first, yes. And you can either both roll it or Corinne, you can roll it with advantage. Never mind, you don't need to.
I tried to help.
Corinne, you enter what looks to be an area of the town that's sort of like an outdoor mall sort of area. There's a fountain and there's a lot of rich folks going about doing things, talking to each other. Some of them are having picnics. So you see a lot of people that could be targets. Roll an insight check for me, please. You don't know any one of these people could do. As far as you know, they're all rich folks. You could probably scam any one of them.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna let this diamond like subtly like fall out of my pocket. Like I'm just gonna drop it on the floor. And then I'm just gonna like wait a second to see if anyone looks around, and then I'm gonna like pick it up and like pretend like I didn't mean for that to happen. But I'm gonna make like a big deal about it. Be like, oh no, and then like tuck it back in my pocket or something.
Okay.
And then see who looks it around.
Corinne, roll a performance check for me, please. This is
Bryce is in the shadows going, you know.
Yeah. This is like an effortless Oscar-worthy performance you give out here in the middle of this outdoor mall, where you see a number of eyes turn to you whenever the diamond falls, and a number of eyes get wide. But you go through the number and you pick it back up and are shuffling away. And behind you, you hear a voice call out to you, say, "Madam, a moment of your time, if you might?
All right. I walk over towards the voice and say, why, yes, sir. Is this a man or woman? Yes, sir.
It's a young man, and he is he is as foppish as they come. He has bright purple silk clothes on, and he has left a group that he was seemingly like picnicking with behind, and they all look equally foppish.
Okay, I'm gonna say, well, good day, sir. Hello. How may I help you? I don't know if this is British or Australian. I don't know.
This is like gutter British is what you're doing right now. Gutter British.
I'm gonna come off as refined as well. So I'm just like I'm scamming him. So I'm people like, why, hello, fine young gentleman. How are you doing today?
You're like Kate Middleton trying to do Kate Middleton.
Says, oh, very well, very well. I couldn't help but notice the rather impressive gem you seem to be transporting there. Yes?
Oh, yes, you saw that, did you? Yes, well, this is very, very precious to me indeed. This was handed down by my great-great-grandfather. I don't have a good name for him, but yeah, it's been in my family for generations.
Frank.
Couldn't come up with something on the spot.
Uncle, I don't have a name for him.
Uncle Frank.
Frank Pemberbottom the Third, actually. Yes.
The man says, yeah, can't say that I am familiar with that particular family name.
You aren't? Well, I can't believe you're not familiar with the Pemberbottoms. They're very well known, you know.
Are they out of Baldur's Gate originally?
Yep.
I'm not terribly familiar with the royal houses, the families down in that part.
Oh, well, so you see, I was carrying this stone to across town to, I was thinking of donating it really to the orphanage.
Here you go. Put this on display. We're so hungry. Don't fucking sell that shit.
And I was going to donate it anonymously, but if someone else wanted to take this off my hands for the right price, I would be amenable to that.
The man perks up a bit. He says, yes, well, you see, my friends and I have a bit of a bet about gem size. It's not really important, but...
Guys are always comparing gem sizes, man. Just...
He says, but I have to say that this would indeed net me some respect in my circle. And Corinne, you are acutely aware that probably 6 or 7 minutes have passed at this point.
Okay. Yes, I certainly understand that. There is nothing more important than one-upping your good fellow friends, your fellow men. Oh God, how much is it? I could part with this for, say, 1,000 gold.
He says, ooh, that is, roll a persuasion check, Corinne.
Those orphans don't really need that.
He says, that is a fair price for a diamond of that size and caliber. He says, I only have about 700 on me at the moment, but if you give me an hour, I will go home, and I will meet you back here, yes?
You know what? How about this? Why don't we do this? How about you give me the 700 now, and then you make me a promise that you're going to go donate 300 to that there orphanage, and I will let you have the diamond.
He looks at you a little quizzically. He says, yes, sure, why not? I haven't donated to anywhere, ever. That should be a novel, a novel experience.
Let's just go ahead and get this transaction going. You know, I do know that you want to take this back and show it off to your pals. So here you go. Here's a diamond, and I'll go ahead and take that bag of money, and I'll be on my way.
You hand him the diamond, Corinne, and he pulls out a little bag, and he begins slowly counting
Oh God.
coins. You're not, and as you watch him, you're not sure if you're gonna make it or not.
At this point, Bryces will run up with her hood up, and go, Mistress, I do apologize. Your uncle is waiting for you in the carriage. Would you like for me to wait for the end of your transaction?
Well, you know what? I think we do need to be going rather quick now. You know, my uncle is. We were actually taking him to the hospital because I think he's having a stroke. So if I could just hurry, if we could just hurry this along a little bit. Here, my associate will help you count the gold if that's what you need help with.
Yes, mistress. Anything you ask.
All right. You're like grabbing the gold from him. What are you doing, Bryces?
I'm just like, here, you hold your hands and I will count. And
Okay, you count out a bunch of what's the one higher than gold?
platinum.
Platinum.
Oh,
You count out a number of platinum pieces, and you do get to 700 gold total. And he still has some money in there, but you get to 700 and you're able to collect it. And he holds the diamond out in front of him now, and he's examining it very proudly.
All right then, good business. Pip pip, cheerio, and we.
Yeah, you're
Scurry
you're
away.
sliding down to Gutter Bridge again.
We quickly, turn the corner, and then as soon as we're out of his line of vision, I'm gonna run away as fast as I can.
As you run, you begin to hear yelling from behind you, but you don't stop.
I'm going to completely douse you in water whenever we turn another corner and people can't see us to get rid of the disguise kit.
Good. All right. You are 700 gold richer.
700 gold. All right, I'm going to split that with Bryce. It's 50-50.
Yeah!
wow.
Oh, man, that was great.
All right. I would like to go to a fine jeweler shop with Tim. Kind sir, I have collected some fine jewels on my journey.
Leeches!
We're gonna get run out of time.
Yeah, which I will say, Halford and Tim, as you guys are heading to a jeweler shop, you get stopped.
You see the cop cars going past outside.
You get stopped by guards asking you if you've seen a white dragonborn.
But no, we haven't. I mean,
White
way up north-
Dragonborn.
way up north in the snow.
Yeah. The sky, too.
But by this point, Corinne and I have found a nice inn and we're sitting down for a drink.
Okay.
And we're just
We're celebrating.
Yep. All right.
You were asking the barkeep, like, what's going on out there? Like, what's up with all the guards? We just got into town. We came from fields. Like,
There seems to be a kerfuffle out there. It's
Yeah.
strange.
is it the hill giants? We just came from Golden Fields. They were attacking, and are they coming here?
The story you get out of by the time it makes its way to the inn, the story you get out of them is of a young noble being mugged in the streets and all of his money being forcibly taken from him.
Oh my goodness.
That is just terrible people these days.
That is unheard of here in this town. What is this town? Like, what are these young people coming to?
Meanwhile, Halford and Tim, you all are now at a jeweler's shop, also in the North Ward.
Yes. And I say I have these fine jewels I collected on my journey. Yada yada. I'm curious if you can tell me how much they're worth.
What do you got? Garnets.
7 garnets.
Um,
Carefully, please.
He says, sure, I can appraise those for you. That'll be 10 gold, please.
I only have 8.
You only have 8
Charge
gold.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I got jewels. I don't have gold.
He says, I'll take your 8 gold. I only really need to appraise one of the gems, and I can tell you how much they're all worth. So they all look like fairly similar gems. He takes the 8 gold. He says, for a garnet like this, I would say it's worth probably 120 gold, depending on the cut.
That's amazing.
All right. Each of them?
He says, yes, each of them.
Okay.
I could make you a bulk offer.
Hopper scoops up all the garnets and says, here you go, Tim.
Thanks. See ya.
Boom!
Turns
Destroy
around
the
and
jeweler's
walks
shop. The jeweler seems slightly baffled as you all leave. I thought I was buying gems. What's going on?
I just wanted to know the value.
Alright, yep. Alright, so you
Tim
get
has
7 garnets.
worth 100 each.
Yep.
Wow. As I leave, I can do so much damage with these 7 garnets.
Okay.
I could probably destroy half this town.
Let me turn on my flying boot.
How many
Yeah.
cops would it take to bring him down?
He's a monster.
Tim goes insane.
I have all the power in this hammer. All right. Anybody else doing anything that might get you arrested in Waterdeep?
I don't know what you're talking about. We've been at this inn the entire time. As you can clearly see, my friend is not a white dragonborn, and that is very racist of you to try to accuse her of this.
I agree.
This is a lawyer now.
The bartender shrugs and says, I wasn't accusing anybody of nothing.
Bryce will make her eyes flame up and say, let's keep it that way.
All right.
Bring me another drink.
He brings you another drink. All right. You all do all your shopping, and you find the Harper Tower to the south in the dock ward. It is a rundown-looking building. And as you enter it, the attendant says, you're going back to Everlund, yes? Master Valharo has been very interested to speak to you all again.
Okay.
To Everlund, then?
Yeah, we're overdue, I think.
All right, he escorts you onto the teleportation circle. You feel the familiar tug in the bright light, and you blink your eyes.
As Bryce is blinking out, she's going to go, oh God, behind you!
You don't see what the result of that is.
Nope, I don't care.
And you open your eyes, and you were in Moongleam Tower in Everland. And one of the guards says, "Oh, the Gramcracker crew, yes, you are back. Master Valharo is very interested to speak to you. This way, please."
We gotta get t-shirts made.
You do.
Start making money off this.
The Harpers know you. And I do have a picture for him, yes?
Too bad we were expected here. We could have totally pulled that con again.
Yeah. Actually, I don't. Anyway, they escort you into Crowan's office, and he is sitting behind his desk, and he says, "You're here, good. We have much to discuss. Have a seat."
I demand to see the picture of Crowan.
I think I had a token for him. Hold on just a second.
Thanks, yeah.
You can see him?
He's under NPCs on our player
Na-
handouts.
Named?
NPCs.
Oh, player handouts. That's where I didn't look. I'll pull him up.
He's like Clint Eastwood.
Yep. It's an old tattooed Clint Eastwood type. Says, we have much to discuss and none of it good. Have a seat, please.
That's us.
Oh, is that supposed to be scary?
Let's take a short break, and then we will come back with your conversation with Crowan.
One second. Can you hear me? No. You're muted. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you unmute yourself so I can hear you?
Click around.
Let me turn my level up though, because it's still turned down. And it's just gonna turn up over time. Can you hear my mouse?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as it was before?
I don't think so. It's hard to tell with the music on.
Turn the music down.
Brett?
It's under settings. It says master music volume level.
Ah, nice. Yeah, it seems about the same.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I think wherever that microphone's located on your computer is. I think it's just gonna be like that.
But it's like everything, right? It's not just the mouse, it's the refrigerator.
Right. Nice. Okay. You want to try talking?
Can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you. I think it's going through my headphones now. So I don't know if that's any better or not. That is probably why we didn't use my headphones before. We probably had a problem with it before. Let's go back to the computer.
We are coming back. We remember to actually switch OBS this time. And... yes, you all sit in the office of Crowan Valharrow, one of the leaders of the Harpers. And he begins... first he does is... he wants to know where you've been. He says, a lot has happened over the last... what has it been since we last spoke? 3 weeks? A month?
Yeah, something like that.
Says, what have you all been up to?
And
Are you any closer to actually solving this giant problem?
yes, where were we when we talked to him last? We gathered a bunch of relics. We got entrance to the All-Father Temple. Had to fight our way in through frost giants. Spoke with a ghost. Some sort of Jedi, I think. And he told us that the blue dragon is fucking everything up. And she's where the storm giants are.
Says, the Maelstrom.
Maelstrom, thank you.
Yes, I've
There
heard
we
of
go.
it.
Unseen Storm, Maelstrom, capital of the Storm Giants. Repairing the ordering requires to make it to the Maelstrom and save the Storm Giant Princess Sarissa. But in order to make it to the Maelstrom, we need a magical shell, which can be found at any of the giant leaders. So we have to go and assault one of the giant capitals, take their shell, teleport to the Maelstrom, defeat the blue dragon, save the giant, save the world, and be back in home for tea. What have you been doing, Crowan?
Besides aging really poorly.
My gels are none of your concern.
Shells. He subconsciously tucks
Yeah.
the box of like men's hair growth back in the cabinet.
He says, well, that is progress, isn't it? We know who our enemy is. We know what we must do to face them. It is fascinating that you will have to go to the Maelstrom. I've never heard of anyone but giants ever traveling to that city under the ocean.
Yeah, that's just because only the giants have the keys. So I don't imagine many people make it into the capitals of the various giant places.
So that makes sense.
Naturally, we chose the most difficult one. This is a flying
Naturally.
castle. Naturally.
He says, well, things have been happening while you've been gone as well. He says, I have some things to show you. He starts going through the papers on his desk, and he pulls out a note, and he begins reading it. He says, this is from 25 days ago. It's a note from Miri detailing the Weevil's progress, as it were. It states that he discovered information about a halfling that had recently joined and risen through the ranks of the Zentarum and had been assigned to work with the quote-unquote K Society. I believe you are familiar.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
He says, that's this note, and he jiggles it. He says, this came to me 25 days ago. Says, a few days later, he pulls out another note. A report from the Weevil. The K Society commissioned a huge ship called the Morkoth some months ago and sent it out to sea, seemingly without orders or a destination, and it has not yet returned to port.
Where did it go? Where did it deport from?
Says it was last seen leaving Port Last, north of Neverwinter.
Okay.
Says so that these were notes seemingly that made me assume that you had this vile dwarf in hand. He seemed to be providing information.
That was the idea.
He says, 20 days ago, the Weevil's bodyguards were found gutted in a Neverwinter ditch. The Weevil has disappeared. Miri is understandably furious, as apparently a friend of hers was the one who supplied the guards that were found dead. Miri has informed me that her friend has apparently sent assassins after the Weevil, but they have not located him as of yet. He scrambles around a little bit more, pulls out another note, this one of a different size and shape, it just looks like a very small piece of paper. He says, 14 days ago, this note was tacked on my front door. I want you to remember that, on my front door. It reads as follows. I've decided to take a little vacation, but rest easy, I'll be back to work in short order. Tell the kiddos I'll see them soon. Signed, W.
Alright.
I cannot tell you, that is exactly my point. He knows where...
The man's resourceful, alright? That's why we kept him around.
I could go outside and get your address in 5 minutes, dude. You need to calm down.
He says, perhaps, but you are, to my experience, a similar caliber of person to him.
Careful.
Please continue.
He sort of leans back. He says, I don't mean to... I just mean...
Uh-huh.
There is a new priority on the table, and that is removing this threat from the game.
Oh, he's not a threat to you. Calm yourself down.
Do we have time to mess with this while we got the giant problem?
He says, I would like you to. I do not like the idea of this man running around knowing who I am, where I live. That I am even associated with the Harpers. We are an espionage organization, need I remind you.
Well, and the Zentarum, which are assassins, so you guys are two sides of the same coin.
He says, well, I have a way that we might solve both of our problems. We do happen to have a lead on where the Weevil might be.
Please.
He says, are you familiar with the pirate ship called the Inheritor? And you all have maybe vaguely heard, like, news stories about... There are pirates along the Sword Coast, and there are a couple named ships that sort of do a lot of pirating in the area. You're not sure if you've ever heard of this one specifically. He says, the Inheritor has been a pirate ship for decades now. But our information points to them having shifted focus. They used to work primarily for the Zentarum, some mercenary work, but now they seem to work for this K Society. And as opposed to separating noble women from their jewelry, now they seem to be taking people.
Alright, what do you know about the K Society? Did you know they're being led by a kraken?
He says,
That's the whole K part of it. Get it?
He says,
I slam my fist down on his desk. He's like, they killed all of my people, Crowan! Or enslaved their minds! This is a dangerous organization. Fuck the Zentarum.
Hey.
Yeah, the Zentarum are two-bit thieves compared to the K Society.
I would now like to throw a firebolt at Kazan.
These guys are the mindfuck wizards. And if they're taking people, they're turning them into soldiers or something. I don't actually know what their deal is. But it's bad.
I'm literally gonna throw a firebolt at Kazin's butt.
Stop it.
He says, well, then another solution to another problem. Goddamn. Casson, you feel a sharp pain in your backside.
God damn it.
Says, another problem that you might be able to solve for yourself, then, should you have a vendetta against this K Society. I did not know that they did anything to you personally, Kazan. I knew that there was a high possibility they were revolving around some sort of creature in the ocean. I had my suspicions. However, the information is that about a week ago, they picked up a VIP in Neverwinter. A VIP that I believe to be the Weevil. They apparently sailed straight south to Baldur's Gate and then turned around the next day and sailed right back, with the Weevil again in tow.
If he's working with them, that means he's probably already been mind devoured.
Says, perhaps, but you can find that out when you ask him yourself. Says, the Inheritor, according to our information, has a base on a set of islands to the north of Waterdeep. And he pulls out a map and starts showing you the area. He says, if you want to find the Weevil and this K Society, this would be the place to look.
Alright, but aren't we going to end up in the water when we have the shell?
Says,
like, we just got here, and it isn't the Cloud Giant Castle near here?
It is fairly near there, yeah. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. We'll take you back to the world map briefly.
I'm trying to figure out where our priorities lie.
You all are currently in Everlund.
Because we just came from fucking Waterdeep. I mean, we could just teleport back, I guess.
Yeah. Lynn Armal is over here floating above the Evermore swamp.
What's the time frame with the boat? Is that going to be there for a while, or is it?
Crowan says, that I do not know. I would like you to take care of this problem first. As great as these giants' threats are to civilization, they aren't a threat to the Harpers directly, and we can hold the peace and hold order. But should the Zentarum or the K Society gain the upper hand over our organization, we can do no good for anyone. And it appears that because we have allied ourselves with you, we have made ourselves an enemy of one of their greatest agents.
Alright, well, I have a personal reason for going after them, so I'm on board with that.
I will show you. This is the location of where he says the Inheritor docks.
Oh, damn.
It is a tiny island in a chain of islands called the Red Rocks.
Do we have a way of getting there? I'll ask.
He says,
Does he have resources to help us get out there?
Oh god, the fire.
Says, we could help commission a ship to get you to the island. Not fighting men, mind you, but we could get you there.
preferable to swimming.
He says, "Take care of this."
Out of Waterdeep.
Yeah. He says, yeah, out of Waterdeep. He says, "Take care of this, and your debt for the Harper Teleportation Network will be considered paid."
Wait, we had a debt?
Well, you were to take on missions for us, if you remember.
Oh,
You've done a few, and this will be the last.
we have done a few.
And this,
What is the mission exactly?
I will show it to you. The pirate ship Inheritor has been plaguing ships up and down the coast for years, but the behavior of the pirates has changed over the last few months. They have pledged allegiance to the K Society and are abducting civilians and taking them to an island in Red Rocks for some unknown purpose. Crowan believes the ship may have recently taken the Weevil to Baldur's Gate and returned with him.
Wait, was the Weevil in Baldur's Gate? Where did we leave him?
You left him in Waterdeep. Apparently, when he broke out, he hooked up with these pirates and went to Baldur's Gate, and then came back.
Okay. All right, you want to tackle that, or do we want to go to the Cloud Giant Castle?
Let's do it. So how are we supposed to find these pirates? They're just like somewhere up along the coast.
He says, "I know which island they are on. I don't know the exact information about their base, but I know which island along the string they do drop anchor, as it were."
Oh, where the X is on
Yes.
the map?
Yeah,
Where,
exactly.
where it says pirate base?
That's
that
right.
one?
That's the one.
That's the ticket.
I say we go fight pirates.
Pirates.
All right.
Put in the soundtrack CD to the first Pirates. of the
That's right.
Caribbean
As you.
movie. It's good songs. Good stuff.
All right.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And it's just like the same 10 seconds, just for like an hour.
Over and over again.
Yeah. Like, please skip to the next song. Like, no.
This movie has a whole soundtrack. No, it doesn't.
Nope. No, it doesn't.
This is my magical CD player.
I just copied this one part.
CD player.
I said magical. They haven't gotten to MP3 technology
That's
yet.
right. They're a little behind on the Sword Coast. All right. He directs you back to Waterdeep to a specific dock in Waterdeep, where he says that a captain will be able to ferry you to the island. He says the captain won't. He stresses again, these are not fighting men. They'll simply be a ferry back and forth.
Yeah, that's. We could probably just buy a ship at this point. Some of us made a mint recently. Probably hire a whole force to come with us of like nautical badasses.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, you teleport from Everlund back to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
You don't realize it's a Corinne archipelago
What's that?
What?
on the bottom left.
Bottom
What?
left. Corinne. Oh, you're right. I didn't notice that. It's spelled the
There's a
same
Corinne
too.
archipelago.
I bought it. Bought it with all the money I
That makes sense.
It's my archipelago.
Retirement. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
got.
Cats. It's a long.
250 miles out off the coast. You just own Hawaii of this land.
Yeah, basically. You all hook up, go back to Waterdeep. You find the captain, and it's a fairly small ship. It looks like a 6-man vessel. He says that it'll be a day and a half to get there. Says I don't have fancy accommodations for you, but it won't be a long trip. We'll be staying right along the coast as much as possible.
He's got no weapons or anything on this ship.
He has a crew of 4, himself and 3 other folks, and they have like daggers. The captain himself has a short sword, but the captain is also a like 300-pound, 50-year-old man who waddles about his ship. Doesn't look like he's going to be much help in a fight.
Doesn't look long for this world.
He clutches his heart every once in a while. Is there anything you guys want to do in Waterdeep before you set sail?
No more gem hijinks.
All right.
No, I only got the 1 spell slot.
Well, okay, yeah. I guess it has been just a day since you did that. You set sail, and the first day goes by uneventfully, and you guys can take a long rest now. It's not a very comfortable ship. There's just these very rudimentary hammocks set up at various points. And there's only 4 hammocks, so you have to, well, I guess Tim doesn't sleep, so I guess you guys could all sleep at the same time. But it looks like they sleep in shifts.
Everyone in the room to sleep.
I just have the bright eyes pulsating, strobe sound coming out of them.
Holding out his light sword, like, happy sleeping, teammates.
Sleep. Sleep.
Go away, Tim. The next day, the ship seems to hang in real close to shore and then turn sharply to get to this island from the inside. He says, from what the Harper agent told me, their base is on the other side of the island. It's a small place. We'll wait here for you. And he waits for you to hop off the ship.
Heather says she's got a work thing. She'll be back in a second.
Oh, okay.
It is 11 o'clock at night.
That's... People steal stuff at all times of day.
Apparently. My goodness. Okay, so we're like, I'm sorry, where are we in relation to this? Are we like right on this island?
You are on the island right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we hop off the ship then.
Retire on the island.
That's right. This is your island now.
I immediately try to find a grass skirt and coconut bikini.
As you do.
Roll a perception.
That's right.
I would like this to play out. Can we see if there are any grass around?
Tim, you don't find any coconuts. You find plenty of palm leaves. You could easily fashion yourself some sort of skirt with
Time to get creative.
But there are bananas though. There are no coconuts, but there are some bananas.
With the strategically placed banana.
It looks like I have a banana penis.
Good to go. The title of this session's episode is Banana Penis.
No.
So we can actually see this base from where we are.
No, you can tell the island is
We're
probably
looking for a ship, right? Not a.
Either one. Yeah, you're from what you've been told. There's a base on this island, which is where the ship docks.
Oh, okay.
The island is only about a mile wide, so you don't think it's going to be very difficult to find what you're looking for here. And they, according to the ship's captain, he said that the pirate base is, as far as he knows, directly across the island.
All right. I guess we will carefully make our way over there and be trying to scout out the whole time.
Okay. You begin walking across the island. It doesn't take long because, like I said, it's a very small island. and at about 5 minutes into this walk, you can see tracks along the area. It looks like people are frequenting the area. And ahead of you, you see what looks to be like a hill on the island or of some sort, a rocky hill. And as you get closer, you see what is clearly a well-worn or well-walked path leading towards this hill.
Well-worn path.
Yes, you begin to follow it, and ahead of you, you stop short because ahead of you, you see that this trail turns and heads into the hill. And you can hear voices and see light coming from a cave entrance directly ahead of you.
Can we listen? Can we hear the voices from where we are?
Yes. Roll a perception check to attempt to discern the voices. 26 and 15. It sounds like celebrating. There's a lot of clinking glasses and people laughing, and you hear snippets of conversation. You hear one man say, "They're almost done. Just a few more of those dreadful rituals, and we'll be able to leave this place." And one of them says, "And what then? We don't know what you priests intend to do once you're done with whatever you're doing with these folks out there." And Kaz, you hear a voice that might be familiar. Say, "What we do with them is none of your concern. You serve a master now. And what he wills is your concern, as all of ours."
Kern, we might need some invisibility scouting.
Okay. My character sheet is kind of glitchy, and I can't see all my spells. And all right, who wants to go invisible? Who should we be turning invisible here? I'll go invisible. I will just cast it on myself.
How many can you do?
I can do a
What's
lot
that squeaking noise?
because I can cast it at higher levels to make more than one person invisible, and I have twin spell, so there's that too. But I think for scouting purposes, it doesn't really take that much.
Yeah.
So I will cast it on myself.
Okay.
And sneak forward.
Okay. Where's it? There it is. Corinne, you step into the cave entrance, and you see pretty much what you thought you'd see. It's a group of people that seem to be celebrating something. A number of them have tankards of some kind of liquid that they're drinking and cheering each other.
Petroleum.
That's right. Pure oil. God. A few of them are dressed the way you expect seamen to be dressed.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on about your.
Continue.
Those are the ones right in front of you. You've thrown me off.
Continue, please.
Two of them are dressed a little differently, though.
They're naked.
That is different.
They have robes on, and on those robes, you see on the front of the robes, you see a symbol drawn that looks like some sort of tentacled creature of some sort.
See, they got T-shirts. We need T-shirts. we gotta fucking work on the branding, man.
What would they be? Just a big graham cracker.
So it's just a big square.
Just a square with nice little calligraphy GCC on it. You know, it's a logo, the whole shebang.
Is your guys' logo a rectangle?
How good would that look on some priest robes, though, right?
Corinne, roll an insight check as you're looking at these fellows. Corinne, the most of them look fairly pleased right now. Even the ones in robes seem like they're in this celebration mode. You do see the one at the back though, standing near the entrance of this particular room, is just solemnly leaning against a wall, watching all this going on. He doesn't look any different than any of them, but he is just sort of not participating in the.
It's the baddest ass that doesn't participate in celebratory revelries.
Yep.
You know he's awesome. The Starlag pit.
So can I hear any of them talk about what they're celebrating exactly?
Yeah. Actually, one more thing. Roll a perception check for me.
I'm gonna use my inspiration because.
Okay.
Damn it, it's not much better. Because I never use my inspiration once I get it, so.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't from now on.
That's what you get.
Corinne, you it's unclear what it is, but you see right beside the man at the back of the cave, there looks to be the most of the room is filled with boxes. It's just boxes and crates of stuff. You're not sure what any of that is. And near the man leaning at the back of the room, though, and you can see it on the map, you see a small brass bell coming out of the wall.
It's the alarm.
And you were trying to see if you could figure out what they were celebrating. They're as they talk, you get the impression that there's some sort of rituals that have been going on for some time here, and that they're almost over, and that the pirates especially the pirates seem to be relieved that this seems to be coming to a close. It's been an ordeal that they've been going through. The two that are in robes do not seem relieved. They seem like excited about this wrapping up. But you can't from the conversation determine what the ritual that they're talking about is or what it's intended to do. The sailors don't seem to know. And the men in robes don't seem to be saying.
Okay. Do I see a lot of weapons?
They are all armed.
Mm-hmm.
The sailors all seem to just have short swords and sheaths. The robed figures seem to just have daggers also in their belts. So they are all armed.
All right. I'm going to go back and convey what I saw to the rest of my party.
Is that one big room in there?
Yeah, so it's just like it's just kind of like a narrow cave-ish. And I think there were about 7 guys or so. And there's like this one really like badass looking guy that's rooting against the wall. And then there's like a bell on the wall. The two guys with robes and hoods, they seem a little bit more scary than the other ones. But yeah, it's just kind of like not that big of a room. It's kind of a small cave-ish situation.
Sounds like the perfect place to just start hurling all y'all's hugely damaging AoE shit. and possibly also a fog cloud, and just fucking stay back here and just throw shit in, like literally like we're breaching this cave but not actually going in, like smoking them out basically with literal fire and lightning.
All
And
right.
they won't be smoked out; they'll just be dead inside.
I mean, that's the best case scenario. Ideally, they will be dead inside and outside. I don't really. I mean, if the pirates are in league with these guys, then fuck them. I don't need to.
If the fire doesn't kill them, the smoke inhalation will.
I mean, we kind of need to ask questions, maybe, but I don't think these guys are going to be in a talking mood. And we could just try to leave one of them alive anyway. The pirates might be more. No, we can't.
No. Are you talking?
Hello.
There you go.
There.
There we go.
Okay, so you want to actually try to smoke them out, or just try to just kill them?
Like literally, I was just thinking, me and Tim would just sit here, like at the entrance around the corner. You guys, on your turn, just run up there, throw your shit in, then run back, and literally just keep hurling AOE spells in there. In there, excuse me. And if they come out, we'll wail on them, but otherwise we'll just stay out here. We've got the element of surprise. We can do a lot of damage with that.
All right.
Yeah, so far well, I mean, it's only been you, Corinne, but they have not taken any notice of any of you there. They're just sort of chatting amongst themselves right now. So you all could attempt to approach stealthily and get a surprise round if you did that.
I'm down for that.
I mean, hell, Corinne could even start this off just by standing in the entrance and throwing a lightning bolt down there. Is there a good lineup that you've got?
I mean, yeah, I can hit probably a lot of them, several of them from this angle. Let's see. Try to position myself.
Kazan, as she's laying this up, you've been feeling something in the back of your head as you've been walking across this island. And as you get closer to this hill, it's just been getting worse and worse. It feels like a headache, but you know better than that, being as adept at your psychicry as you are.
Psychicry.
And you can just feel in the back of your brain that there is a lot of psychic energy in this place. And it almost hurts getting this close to it.
Alright, I'm gonna try not to exhibit any of those signs outwardly.
Okay.
It's the guy against the
Gritting my
wall.
teeth. I mean, these guys
All right.
are... These guys are like the same... Like, that fish guy we tangled with.
So I'm in a good position for my lightning bolt. So, Raisis, I don't know if you can get into a position where you won't be seen.
No. I
Bryce
go
is-
like right about here, maybe?
Bryce, roll me a stealth check.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
You're good. You're able to just sort of tread on the well-worn dirt there and not make any noise as you
In
approach.
that case, then I'll go right about there.
Your mic is fucking...
Very crackly.
Robot Heather.
Yeah.
She went from amazing that when we first switched over to Roll20. All right.
I don't know how to fix it.
I am going to have you guys roll initiative. And then Bryces and Corinne, you will get a surprise round. Everyone go ahead.
Excellent.
Boy, this map is small. This is not going into OBS well because the map is so small. It's like outside the boundaries. Okay, I'm moving this over here. In fact, Corinne, you are first.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Lightning Bolt in this, in this angle to try to hit all
4 of them.
4 of these fellows. Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to turn on metal music. You open with a lightning bolt that sears through these 4. I'll go from left to right. This is the leftmost guy. He makes his saving throw. It's half damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He makes the saving throw. That's 18.
Mm-hmm.
18. Okay. 18 is massive damage. Don't let me forget that. Let me go back to the other guys. This is the robed figure. Okay. You watch his body evaporate. This is the bottom pirate. You watch his body evaporate.
Boy.
This is the top pirate. You watch his body evaporate.
All right.
This one took massive damage. And holds firm. Okay, Brysis.
How many guys are in there now?
These 3 are dead.
1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4 guys. And to be clear, this isn't like a dead end cave.
No, in fact,
Like,
you can see, Corinne, from where you're at right now, you can see a path that goes farther down this down the way. You can see that there's another entrance to this cave on the other side, and you can see what looks to be a red curtain drawn over an entryway. But you can also see that it just keeps going down a tunnel. All right, Bryce, you're throwing a fireball.
I can't hear you, hon.
Again?
There you go.
There you go.
All right. I was saying I wanted to re-roll some of that damage to the 1 and the 2 2s.
Okay.
So, what are those, D8s?
Yes, they are.
All right, so subtract 3 from that, and then we'll add...
You want to take away both the 2s, though, right?
Yeah, both the 2, or so, sorry, take away 5 from
5,
that,
okay.
and then we'll add... Please be more than 5. Aha!
36 plus 9 is 45. Okay, let's do some saving rolls. Yeah.
That's basically going to cover everybody who's still alive.
It looks like it. I'm not going to make you even
Man.
draw it. You can just cover the whole room. All right, the one nearest you does not save and is incinerated. The top pirate does not save and is incinerated. These poor people. The
We're
robed
just having a quiet evening.
The robed figure does not save and is incinerated. And
This was the right group.
Yeah, just some innocent civilians you happen to find.
Yeah, murdered this party.
And finally, the man leaning against the wall in the back. Hold on just a second.
Well, to be fair, my DC save is really kind of high.
That guy makes it.
No, he doesn't.
Okay. So that is 40. Okay, 40. What we say? 46? 40. 45. Okay, 45. All right. That hits him. Bryce, as it hits him, this all happened like instantaneously. Like these people were having a little party, a little gathering, and suddenly a lightning bolt and a fireball just instantaneously destroyed this room.
Can I also use thaumaturgy and go, "You've angered your god"?
Yeah, you can. There's no one left to hear. There's no one left to hear it right now. But the man that was leaning on the back wall, as soon as he's hit by the fire, you see his face contort, and his head flicks towards you, and you see his jaw separate.
Ew.
And
That's no man.
you recognize what shape his body takes. The last time you saw one of these was at the Roaring Horn Gala.
What's up, fish dude?
Yep, I
Yep.
shoved his ass to the ground. Told him to go home.
And it hisses at you as it turns towards you. And he is the only one left in this room, so he will...
I'd like to hiss back at him.
Okay, all right. Dueling hisses.
Come on, that wasn't massive damage to that guy.
It was, actually. But he's fine.
Ah.
All right. The turn proper. Tim, you're up first.
All right. I will dash and yell, "Surrender now or prepare to be further incinerated."
Because we asked to surrender after we murdered 90% of them in the room.
You have no reason to fight anymore then.
Just get in there and plant the guns on them. We're good.
The creature just hisses at you, Tim. Tim, you glance over, and to your right, and you see another room full of. Well, you can only see two people, but it appears to be there's a very dim.
2 1/3.
Wait, you weren't supposed to go in there. You're supposed to stay out here.
There, you can see.
Whoops.
You can see two
Let them
people
come to us.
in sleeping bags in that room.
Not a good choke point.
Two people in sleeping bags in that room, and they seem to be stirring now. You just threw a fireball and a lightning bolt through the cave, but they are, as far as you can tell, still asleep in a sleeping bag in that room.
All right, I'll just continue yelling out, "Incinerate them all!"
I mean, if you
Incinerate!
can murder sleeping people, I'm all for that.
Alert! Alert!
Stop alerting the touch.
Wake up to be incinerated!
You can see Tim's little laser eyes going off as his
It's
head.
just the worst thing to do.
Go back to sleep.
Ignore me.
All right, but the scion is actually just hissing at you right now, aggressively.
Can I hiss back in his language?
It seems
Further incineration.
no incineration. The master will consume your souls.
I
And
don't have one.
Tim, you hear this voice in your mind, as do you all.
Do I? I don't remember.
You do. You have a soul.
You do have a soul.
You have a
We
soul.
went through the entire arc of your story was that you had a soul. In fact, that was a big takeaway from that side
Tim
quest.
remembers no lesson.
All right.
You all,
Excellent.
it's like 50 first dates. You guys have to tell him every morning.
God, no, we don't. After the first day, he's soulless now. I don't care. Back to square one.
I'm a robot. What's a robot?
All right, so you're gonna take any actions, or just hissing at him?
I dashed.
Oh, you dashed. Oh, sorry, I missed that.
You dashed.
That is
Oh.
my action.
Good plan.
Guess I can take a bonus action. Ooh, let's do a bonus action. Action surge.
Okay.
Here's your massive damage. So let's cure his wounds by inflicting some of our own. Damn it.
Wow.
That would have been real good.
I rolled a 4.
Wow. You do have inspiration.
I do. Let's use that inspiration.
If you wanted to. Which I would let you just keep your damage die and re-roll the attack roll.
Hi. Yes.
I would assume that's what you want to do. There you go. The creature is barely recovered from the fireball that just blasted it backwards into the wall, and it comes hissing at you, Tim, and your laser leashes. I forget which one's which.
My laser leashes.
Laser leeches. Got that shit upgraded.
They're leashes, but they shoot lasers.
Yeah, Lord.
They bore right through him,
They're
and
just spinning or like just going in and out of his body over and over
that's
again.
right. Yep. And he slumps backward and dies. And the room goes quiet.
The sleeping guys are still sleeping?
Tim, you can. You can.
Were they drugged?
It has been literally like 10 seconds since this all started. You can see them stirring, Tim. You can see them like reacting to this loud noise that
Club them.
has just come
Club
from the other
them.
room. You have a few moments though. They're all, as far as you can see, Tim, they're all still like bundled up in sleeping bags.
All right, I'm going to run over there as fast as I can.
All right, go ahead. You can just move right now.
Okay. Oh yes.
The initiative has not started quite yet.
All right, I'm gonna go here and.
All right, the rest. Hold on, before you do anything.
Oh no! Well,
I mean, I let this happen.
I let this happen. Subtlety is no longer our forte.
Tim, before
It's all about the shock and awe.
you're not getting a surprise round. As you run in there, they are aware of your presence. I'll let you keep that.
I am Tim.
But everybody roll initiative again as a new fight begins immediately after the first.
How many of those gems do you have now?
I have a lot now.
Yeah. You've got a bunch of.
I have 7 left.
Oh boy.
Halford is a terrible enabler. That just...
It's just... Tim's like, I don't want to do this anymore, man. Alfred just keeps giving him gems.
That's what I found. Here's some more.
That's right.
Kazan, as you enter this room,
I have not entered the room.
all right. Well, because it's in their name. I'm gonna have to tell you beforehand. You recognize these robed figures. They are in fact members.
Not seen any robed figures.
Well, they're called Mind's Eye Psychics. So
I would not know this.
you would not know this.
I
What?
don't know anything going on.
All right.
Tim's murdering my former monastery.
All right, that is everybody. Tim, fortunately, you weren't quite prepared, Tim. You ran into the middle of them. All right, let's start this up. First up is the pirates.
Wait, does he not get a surprise round with his blast?
No. They were all fully aware whenever he ran in.
They went from stirring to fully aware.
That's yeah.
The pirates, the two nearest you, stand up and pick up their weapon, which are on the ground.
They're piercing weapons.
They're short swords that happen to do piercing.
It's probably a name for that kind of sword. Like an S
And
or a rapier.
they come at you. These are the two nearest you. Let's do it one at a time. This is the one to your left. Will make 2 short sword attacks. Neither one of those are going to hit anyway. And 1 dagger attack with his other hand. It's also not going to hit. That actually is piercing. But he didn't hit you. And here is the other. Yep, here's the other one.
They only have a +4. These guys suck.
All right, that 22 armor class is coming in pretty handy right now.
Yeah. Just ding, ding, ding,
yep.
ding.
You just run in the middle of them. This one to the north will stand up, grab his weapons, and advance towards you, but he won't have any... Well, he won't be able to... He actually can't move. He'll spend his entire turn getting out of his sleeping bag and picking up his weapons, as will these two. Halfred, it's your turn.
Halfred thinks he knows. Ooh, far away. Bonus action.
Right, you're way there. You guys didn't even come in.
No.
Halfred, you pass through a scarred, scorched room.
Some dead bodies. Tim, where are you?
Tim!
Alfred, you hear the voice coming from your southeast.
I hear shouting.
Yeah, you hear shouting and clinking off armor. Where are you casting that?
Right there. I can hear the scuffle.
All right. How big is it?
20 radius, so 40 across.
Oh boy, that's 8 across.
I think if you do an aura, it's probably easier.
That's what we did last time, isn't it? So where do you want to focus it? Right here, right here.
Right. One
Right. Okay.
down. Yep, right there. That's the lowest I can see.
Okay.
I imagine Tim doesn't need to see to strike the ground.
Oh God. All right. Jesus, that's bigger than I thought it was going to be.
We can't see the aura.
Oh, I will let you see it.
Ooh. That is bigger than I thought.
That's what she said.
No, you did 40 radius. It's only 20 radius.
Oh, it's only 20. Okay, gotcha. 20 rate. Yeah, okay.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Tim. As these pirates begin to crowd around you and slash at you, the whole room is just filled with smoke or fog, and you suddenly can't see anything. Corinne!
There we go. So
You're not
I don't
invisible.
really know.
Anymore.
No, I'm not invisible. I don't really know what's going on from here.
You all just saw Tim run into a tunnel.
Basically.
Maybe we can check it out.
You can't see, Corinne. You can't. That radius is a fog cloud, so all you see is just a wall of fog into this tunnel.
You're welcome.
Okay. So like in a fog, I always forget how this works. In fog cloud, can I see things if I'm up close to them?
If you are in melee range, you'll roll a perception versus stealth to see if you can actually see them enough to attack them.
Can I see this guy? He doesn't look like he's in the fog cloud.
This whole
right?
the cloud itself is opaque, so you can't see through it.
Ah, I see.
Or you
Well, I'm just gonna go into the fog cloud then. I'm gonna dash.
Into the fog cloud.
Wait, well, maybe I'll.
Although, I will say this:
don't. Run in there.
you're pretty sure from context clues that Tim was intending to blast that room to smithereens.
I would stay out here.
I'll just cast haste on myself.
Okay.
That's all.
All right. The haste. Where is the haste? There it is. Clock. All right. Next up is the psychics. Tim, you are surrounded by psychics, but they can no longer see well.
Psychic's one weakness, being able to see.
Yep. Oh, I don't want to edit. I want to look at the. Oh,
Wouldn't wanna
okay. That's how
bring
you.
one of his own guys.
The one closest to you is going to attempt to see you. What is it? Is perception a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. Or
With the wisdom skill.
okay. Roll your stealth, please.
Wow. Stealth.
Oh right, you're wearing you're a giant
Oh, man.
shining.
So good.
Oh, you did roll a 20. Yeah, that would have been. The one closest to you does see you. He is going to put out his arms towards you and cast a spell as you see him muttering some words. He's going to, and you're going to feel a sharp pain in your brain as he attempts to mind spike you. Yeah, roll a wisdom saving throw, please. Alright, so you take half that damage. So it's 7 damage. And ooh, this is actually helpful here. If he succeeds, he always knows where you are.
Okay.
Which
That's
would be
cool.
which would be helpful in a fog cloud, but he did not succeed, so. Alright, the other two are going to try to approach you to see you, but they are bumping into their friends and not really able to do that. Will you roll your stealth check again for me, please? All right, that top Mind's Eye was not able to see you. He's just fumbling around in the fog cloud. The second one.
Okay.
Roll 20. No. All right. He is going to. I'll do the same thing. He's going to reach out his hand and attempt to mind spike you, and you succeed. So that is 8 damage. That was close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's another one outside that can't see in. He is still getting up. He is not up yet. He's going to spend his turn getting out of his sleeping bag and approaching the fight. Brysis.
She's got work aggro right now.
Oh, okay.
What's the best course of action?
Let's see how far she is. Probably just to dash closer to what's going on. I mean, she's far out too.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
Move here, Nick.
Keep her
Oh, keep her back a little bit. Okay.
on the back lines, yeah.
Okay. Parallel with everybody else. Okay.
So we'll be doing the same thing.
Kazan.
Good lord.
Kazan, now I can say that you go in and you recognize 2 of the bodies, despite being burned and electrocuted to death.
God.
You didn't know them well. You probably maybe didn't even talk to them, but you remember them from your time with the Mind's Eye, and that they were in fact initiates of that group.
Oh man, I'll just kneel over the body and just kind of shake my head. And as with my action, I'm just going to charge my sword up. Or not my sword, what do I have? A glaive.
Glaive. All right. So, Kazan, remind me, you can only have one of your weapons as your psychic, like your pull out of nothing weapon, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know. Yeah.
Let's see. Where is it?
I think you can change. Yeah, let's see.
Create a packed weapon. Wait, that's... Oh, transform one magic weapon into my pack weapon, performing a special ritual while holding it over the course of 1 hour. Which on one weapon at a time, yeah. So it's on the Phantom Pike right now.
Okay. So the ankle biter is literally just strapped to your back or something. Like it's on you like a normal weapon.
Yeah.
And Phantom is out. All right. Tim, you're up.
I'll take my damage from earlier. It was 60.
Oh, right. That's right.
As
Okay.
I continue to smash my hammer into the ground.
That's right. Yep. Okay. We roll it again just so I know. Well, you can just tell me. What's the saving throw again?
$16 dexterity.
And what's the aura?
15.
15. All right. All right. That hits all but one of them in this room. The one Mind's Eye who was getting close to the fog wall is just gonna fly out at him. All right. 60 damage for a 16 dexterity saving throw. Let's do the pirates first. Well, let's just go down the line. That still kills him. God, for some reason my internet got real slow when I loaded this map. I don't know what. It's been fine up until now, but now it's like I type a number in, it's like loading.
Too many auras.
Maybe too many tokens, too many auras. I don't know. The guy below him fails and is obliterated. these aren't very strong guys. You guys are doing very powerful
We
things
are
to them.
learning that. Yeah.
You know what? All of the pirates that are in the aura, it doesn't matter. So they're all, they all just explode.
Oh my god.
They all have less than 25 health. So, the mind's eye actually doesn't matter. That one saves. What is it? 22.
It was 60, so 30.
Oh, it was 30. Yeah. Oh, that kills him. Ha! Okay. He had 8 life left. And 30 will kill him, too. All right, Tim.
Uh-huh.
One more. Jesus Christ.
Hopwood says, that sounds like enough blood and guts. And he drops his fog cloud.
All right. Tim, you can hardly see in this fog cloud, and especially the fact that Halford dropped it right after you did this. What it looks like to you is that you hit the ground so hard that the shockwave just blew the fog cloud outward, and as the fog cloud is being blown outward, people's bodies are just disintegrating before it. As this shockwave hits
It's a red fog cloud.
it's a red fog cloud that pulls backward and destroys everyone in it. Aura's gone. As the wave hits the one on the edge over here, he begins to scream in your mind, and you see his form begin to change, and he becomes one of the scions. However, that was massive damage for him. And he failed. So it's a D10, right?
Yes.
What is the 6?
Probably stunned.
Can't take reactions, has disadvantage on all attacks until the end of its next turn.
Okay. Okay.
That one.
All right. All right, that is your turn. Next up, the pirates. The one pirate that is remaining, Tim, also looks at the one standing next to him, and his face also begins to contort and change.
The pirate?
Yep. And he becomes one of the scions as well.
No longer feel bad about murdering all these pirates then.
And the scions will replace... I have to roll for them.
Unless all the other pirates didn't know they were being infiltrated by scions.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've killed regular pirates and they didn't change. Or you've damaged other pirates and they didn't change. So from what you can see, it seems like just certain ones are... Not all of them, but certain ones are.
There was the innocent ones.
Yep. But the scions are on you now, Tim.
Hashtag not all pirates.
That's right. The one that you did massive damage to gets disadvantage on attacks. So the other one, the one that just changed, is going to charge you. And he has a multi-attack, 1 bite and 2 claws. So he begins to slash at you. Wow! Wow! That's amazing. What is it? He just has a plus. He has a plus 6.
All three of those hit.
Yep. Now the piercing. Okay, the 5 is piercing damage. So that's 10, and then the slashing. You have resistance or immunity to slashing.
Resistance.
Okay.
I'm going to parry those.
Okay.
That's parry.
So I'm not sure if I actually did this last time, but your parry is a reaction, so you can only do 1.
You did not do it last time.
I didn't do that last time, but yeah, I'm just reading that now. It is a reaction.
Okay.
So that first one, yeah. Okay, you attempt to parry his bite.
Perfection. So
Goes from a 24 to a 22?
23 damage.
Wait, is that really? 10 and then half of 15.
Oh, right.
So 17.
7.
17 damage.
Minus 2 damage. 15 damage.
Right, yes. Alright, and the other scion is going to open its jaw like appendages, and you're going to hear a terrible sound. Slash through your mind as it is attempting to psychic screech at you. I don't think anybody else is in 30 feet, but I'll check. No, no one else is. All right, you feel the psychic attack in your mind, but you're able to shake it off. Halfred, you're up.
You cannot scare me, unbeliever.
He's gonna target the one that just finished screaming.
Okay. Uh, 17 does hit for 14 damage. $23 for 8 also hits, and he is staggered now. He looks almost dead.
He's not on Star City, is he?
He's not, no. Alright, are you...
I'm gonna use a bonus action.
For one of the previous attacks?
The last one, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can I do it or not? Or do you want me to click it before I...
I'll let you have it. That does kill him. So... I hate for you to waste it. Yeah, so yeah, you're... With the Hunter's Mark damage, that is enough to kill him. So you put 2 arrows right into him, and he goes down. Corinne, you're up.
Okay. So there's just this guy next to Tim left that I can
Yep.
see. All right.
He seems to be the only one left alive in this room.
I'm going to. And how is he looking?
Fine. You can't tell that you can't see that he's been damaged at all.
Okay, I'm gonna cast my chromatic orb with lightning damage
Okay.
at a level 3.
Level 3. All right, for 16 damage, that lands. As it plows into him. I believe because you're doing lightning damage, you're doing another 4
Yeah.
from your
Yeah.
attunement. So I will add that. All right.
And then I am hasted, so I have another action, right?
Oh, yeah, you do. And you have double your speed, too.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my my skull cracker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pull that sucker out. All right.
And so how big is he? This isn't a
He's-
large fellow,
No,
right?
he's the same size as you.
Oh, jeez. Woohoo.
That hits though. He
Okay.
he was not wearing any armor. He was wearing robes. So you do 5 damage with your sling. You just swing a rock and nail him in the face with it. All right, the psychics are all dead in this room. Kazan,
So is there anything left alive in this dungeon?
well, you don't know about the dungeon, but
Yes.
Tim is facing down a.
What is this?
That is
A red curtain.
a dark red curtain, a very heavy curtain, blocking a room to the north.
Nobody's peeked into the curtain.
No one has peeked into the curtain. Do you want to peek?
I kind of would like to peek into the curtain. Yeah.
All right, Kazan, you peek into the curtain. Oh, I didn't do it. I have to actually bring you into the room. You see in this room a large pool with a couple smaller pools in front of it. It looks like a natural forming like little pond inside this cave. Wavering on the surface of this pool is a creature that looks almost humanoid, but it's very tall. It's about 6.5, 7 feet tall, and it has no arms. It just has shoulders that drop down to nothing, and no legs, and its bottom part of its body delves into the water, and you can't see the bottom part. It has what look like gills along the side of its head that are trailing down to its chin. And it is just sort of slightly swaying like a snake over this water. And as you peek in, it looks at you, and Kazan, you hear a deep, strong voice in your mind that says, "You are mind touched."
I'll nod at him.
All right, that is your turn.
I
Bryce
still have an action.
Oh, I guess you still have an action. Yeah. You
I
want
just
you want
moved.
you want to do something?
Yeah, when he says that, I'm gonna reply out loud and said, "And you are gonna die." And unfortunately, I used all my movements, so I am going to. I guess I'll fire a few Eldritch Blasts.
Okay. You slam into him with 6. That second one does not hit. Oh, do you push him back? You can.
Yeah, I guess so.
You
It's a show of force.
You blast him back 10 feet, and as you do, you can see he doesn't have legs. It seems to be a fin that's going under the water, and that you can see scraping along the water as he blows back. I don't know if I actually have a thing for him, but I'll show it to you if I do. I don't right now, but I will show it to you later.
You can make that token bigger.
Oh yeah, I can. For everybody to see. I don't know if anybody... Can everybody see this if I do this?
Yep, it was
Okay.
creepy.
Yep. No arms, gills along his face, has a tail. Speak psychically. All right. Bryces. I don't know if you're talking, Heather. I can't hear you. Oh, okay. Play the ping game. Yes, you're attacking him. With what?
A battleship now.
All right. I assume you're rolling something. Yeah, okay. There we go. 25 Chaos Bolts.
It's a lot of chaos bolts.
That's a lot of Chaos Bolts. Into the Scion. You gonna re-roll damage? I don't know if that's what you... I'm trying to like sign language. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Yeah, the ones and the twos. So that's -5, 8 plus... Then you can roll whatever you're going to roll. Eight plus 12 is 20. Not bad. What kind of damage is that? Fire. All right, you slam into him with an orb of fire and do 20 damage to him. He is not looking good. Bryces, you use your Tides of Chaos, and you land an attack, and you feel the magic overwhelm you. Please roll a D100. You knew it would happen. You want it to happen. 60. You regain your lowest level expended spell slot. That's good. A 4. Wow.
Wow.
All right. Good for you. That's a solid one. All right, Tim. You're up.
How bad does this guy look?
Pretty bad. He's still standing, but he's been knocked about quite a bit.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. He doesn't look on death's door. $13 for 12. That does hit.
Okay.
And you do 12 damage, and now he looks pretty bad. Now he's looking.
Terrible AC.
He was just wearing robes. He was wearing with the. Well, I guess it was pirates actually, but yeah, he's just wearing just regular clothes.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Yay.
All right, you do 12 damage, and now he's not looking great.
All right. Now I'll do that.
All right, get some HP back. Ready for more.
And I'm done.
Okay. You guys may not be aware. We're gonna call it here. We're gonna call it here because Kazan started a whole other fight to the
Sorry.
north of you. So We'll come back. Yeah.
Kazan is the cat, and that thing is curiosity.
That's right. And it is. And he has tapped it. Let me call the music.
Tap that curiosity.
All right. Do you guys want to get experience with these guys now or after you guys have finished what you're doing?
Later.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just-
we can do it.
Just remember later that you guys killed these guys last session and you still are owed experience for them. I'm trying to think if you guys got any experience this session. You already got all the experience from Golden Fields.
Did we get any for me hitting Danilo with a firebolt
No.
or magic missile?
No, there was negative experience for doing that.
Oh, damn it.
There was,
Yeah.
and then you went to your
Just talk to Crowan.
your
and
rewards
we
for
did the-
conning a nobleman is money.
Yeah. Yeah. And we talked to Crowan and then we came here. So.
Yep. All right. Well, then we will pick it back up next time as you guys just roll through this cave, murdering everything you see.
That we roll. I must avenge my people by murdering them.
By murdering what's left of them.
Oh well.
All right. Thank you to Eric, Heather, Reese, Rochelle, and Raymond. I am Chris. We are here doing D&D 5th Edition Storm King's Thunder every week. We will see you next time.